Hey everyone, so take a look at this. This little blue board. It might not look like a world changer, but trust me, it is. It's the heart of a massive revolution in creativity. We're talking about more than just hardware here. This thing is a phenomenon. So today, we're going to dive deep into the legendary Arduino Uno R3.
And this quote just nails it, doesn't it? More than a circuit board, it is a gateway into the world of creative engineering. That word, gateway, that's everything. And that's exactly the idea we're going to explore.
All right, first up, the maker's gold standard. I mean, how did this one little board become the go-to for pretty much everyone? Well, for millions of us, the Uno wasn't just a place to start with electronics, it was the place to start, the definitive beginning.
So what was the secret sauce? How did it do it? It was all about this perfect kind of magical balance. It's simple enough that you, as a total beginner, could pick it up and not be terrified, but at the same time, it was powerful enough that seasoned pros were using it for some serious prototyping. And that's it, right there. That's why it became the absolute cornerstone of the maker movement and a staple in STEM classes everywhere.
So let's take a quick look back. The whole Arduino project kicked off in Italy, way back in 2005, with this awesome mission to make electronics accessible to everyone. But the real moment, the game changer, was 2011. That's when the Uno R3, that's revision 3, was released. And look, this was not just some minor tweak. It brought some serious hardware upgrades and a level of stability that really cemented the Uno as the powerhouse platform that millions of us still rely on today.
Okay, so that's the history. But what's actually going on inside this thing? What makes it tick? Let's pop the hood, so to speak, and take a look at the hardware. We're going to look at the brain and the body that make all the magic happen.
So right at the center of it all, you've got this one crucial chip, the ATmega328P microcontroller. This is the brain of the whole operation. Now, let's be real. It's specs. An 8-bit chip running at 16 megahertz, that's not going to impress anyone used to a modern smartphone. But that's not the point. It was never about raw speed. It was about being rock-solid, reliable, and super efficient for the jobs it was designed to do.
And this is what that brain has to work with. Let me break it down for you. That 32 KB of flash memory, that's its long-term memory, where your code, your sketch, lives. The 2 KB of SRAM, think of that as its short-term or working memory. It's where it juggles variables while your code is actually running. Then you've got this tiny 1 KB of EPROM, which is super useful for saving small bits of data even after you unplug it. And that 16 megahertz clock speed, well, that's just the pace it works at, how fast it thinks and executes instructions.
So okay, we've got the brain, but how does it actually talk to the outside world? Well, it's all through these pins, and there are basically two flavors. You've got your digital pins, which are super simple. Just think of a light switch. They're either on or off. That's it. Perfect for turning an LED on, right? Then you have the analog pins, and these are more like a dimmer switch. They can read a whole range of values, which is absolutely crucial when you're trying to read data from sensors.
But wait a second. What if you want that smooth, dimmer-like effect, but you have to use a digital pin? Well, that's where this really clever trick comes into play. It's called pulse width modulation, or PWM for short. Basically, the board just flicks a digital pin on and off super fast. And by changing how long it's on versus off, it can perfectly fake an analog signal. This little bit of genius is how you do things like fade an LED smoothly or control the speed of a motor with real precision. It makes the whole board way more versatile.
All right, so that's the hardware tour. Pretty cool, right? But here's the thing. The Uno's real magic, the reason it's an icon, isn't just the board itself. It's the entire ecosystem that grew up around it. So now, let's talk about how you actually bring ideas to life with code, shields, and projects.
And this right here, this is the creative workflow, the loop that gets everybody hooked. It's so beautifully simple. First, you wire up your parts, your LEDs, your sensors, whatever. Then, you write some simple code in the Arduino software to tell the board what to do. You hit one button to upload it, and then you get to see your creation actually work. It comes to life right in front of you. I'm telling you, it is one of the most satisfying feelings ever.
Now, what if you want to level up? What if you want to add some really complex features without creating a nightmare of tangled wires? That's where shields come in. Just think of them as these awesome little backpacks that you literally just stack right on top of your Uno, and boom, instant superpowers. You can give it internet access, the ability to control big robots, or even add a little screen and keypad. It's like plug and play for hardware.
And this is where it all leads, right? Building actual real-world stuff. These classic beginner projects, they're not just exercises, they're like rites of passage for every maker.
You start with the simple, pure joy of just getting an LED to blink, which is the absolute hello world of the hardware world. And from there, you learn the core concepts that let you build a traffic light, or a distance sensor, or even a smart little gadget that reacts to its environment. It's an amazing journey.
Okay, so all of this brings us to the big question, the one you might be thinking right now. In today's world, with all these newer, faster, way more powerful boards out there, why does the Uno still rule? How is it possible that this board is still so dominant?
And you know what? That's a totally fair question. We're talking about a board that's more than a decade old. Why are we still so obsessed with it? The answer, and this is the key, has almost nothing to do with its raw processing power. It's about something way, way more important.
The reason it's still king is this perfect recipe for an icon. First off, it's simple. It's affordable, so literally anyone can get one. And it's tough. It's durable enough to handle all the mistakes we make when we're learning. But the real secret ingredient, the absolute game changer, is the community. It's this massive global network of people and the open source nature of the whole project. You can find a tutorial or an answer to pretty much any question you can dream of. There's a library for almost any sensor you can buy. That is its true superpower.
And that brings us right back around, full circle, to that first quote. The Arduino Uno R3 is still here, still on top, because it was never just a piece of hardware. It has always, always been an invitation. It's an invitation for you to stop just using technology and to start creating it. It's a gateway. So I guess the only question left to ask is, what are you going to build?